The imperial court fell silent when the Empress shrieked, her crystalline voice shattering 3 decorative vases along the eastern wall. Celine didn't flinch. She'd heard worse sounds in the engine rooms of mining colonies, where metal screamed against metal and vacuum waited just beyond paper-thin walls. "If you teach her to speak again, I'll grant you everything." The Empress's luminous form pulsed with desperate colors, violet grief bleeding into crimson rage. "Wealth beyond measure! A fleet of ships, a moon of your choosing." Celine looked down at the small creature huddled behind the Empress's flowing robes. Maiko was no larger than a human child, covered in soft azure fur that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. The cub's enormous eyes, 3 of them, arranged in a triangle across her face, stared at nothing, seeing everything and comprehending none of it. "The finest physicians in 7 star systems have examined her," the Empress continued, her translator struggling to convey the anguish in her native tongue. "The neural specialists, the genetic engineers, the mystics who read the quantum foam itself, all have failed. 3 months ago, an accident aboard the Imperial flagship had torn through the royal quarters. Miko had been caught in the decompression, her small body exposed to vacuum for 47 seconds before emergency protocols sealed the breach. She'd survived. The Gentari were remarkably resilient, but something had broken inside her mind. The cub who had once recited poetry in 4 languages now sat in silence, breathing but not living. Celine knelt slowly, making herself small. The court physicians had tried everything, she'd been told. Everything except the obvious, perhaps. She'd seen this before, in the hollow eyes of miners who'd survived cave-ins, in the trembling hands of engineers who'd watched their crews die. Trauma didn't care about species or status. "I'm not a doctor," Celine said quietly. "I fix ships, Your Radiance. I realign fusion cores and patch hull breaches." "Then why are you here?" One of the court advisors hissed, their scales rattling with indignation. "Because," Celine replied, still watching Miko, "sometimes what's broken isn't a body. It's trust." She reached into her tool bag, the guards tensed, hands on weapons, and pulled out a small music box. Battered metal, human-made, probably worth nothing to anyone but her. She wound the key, and a simple melody began to play. An old earth lullaby, the kind mothers hummed to children who couldn't sleep after nightmares. Maiko's center eye flickered. Just once, but Celine caught it. "I'll need time," Celine said. "And I'll need her Imperial Radiance to leave us alone." The Empress's form flashed white with shock. "Absolutely not. She is my daughter, I know." Celine's voice was gentle but firm. "And that's why you need to step back. Every time she looks at you, she remembers what she's lost. The mother she used to talk to. The self she used to be. Right now, you're a mirror showing her everything that's broken." The court erupted. Advisors shouted. Guards stepped forward. But the Empress raised one translucent hand and silence fell like a curtain. "How long?" she whispered. "As long as it takes." The Empress fled the chamber, grief trailing behind her like smoke. For 3 days, Celine simply sat with Miko in the royal gardens. She didn't speak, didn't push, didn't demand. She just worked on small machines, disassembling them, cleaning each part, putting them back together. The music box played its simple song on repeat. On the 4th day, Maiko's smallest eye followed the movement of Celine's hands. On the 7th day, Celine started talking. Not to Maiko, never directly to her, just narrating her own actions. "This gear connects to this shaft. See how it turns? One movement creating another, like words, I suppose. One thought leading to the next." By the 2nd week, Celine brought children's toys, human ones, simple and tactile, blocks that fit together. Puzzles with bright colors. Things that required no words, only the basic human or Gentari instinct to create order from chaos. Maiko didn't touch them. Not yet, but she watched. On day 16, Celine made a mistake. She dropped a wrench and it clattered loudly against the stone floor. Maiko flinched, all 3 eyes squeezing shut, a small whimper escaping her throat, the first sound she'd made in months. "It's okay," Celine said softly. "Just a tool, it can't hurt you. See?" She picked it up slowly, placed it gently on the ground. "We control the tools. They don't control us." That night, Celine found Maiko sitting closer. Not touching, but closer. The breakthrough came on day 23. Celine was humming unconsciously, the same lullaby from the music box, when a small, furry hand reached out and touched one of the puzzle pieces. Maiko picked it up, turned it over, examining it with the methodical precision of a scientist. She placed it where it belonged. Then another piece. And another. "You're doing great," Celine whispered, barely breathing. Maiko's voice, when it finally came, was rusty and small, like an engine that hadn't run in years. This one?" Celine's eyes burned with tears she refused to shed. "Yes, that one fits right there." They worked in silence for an hour, completing the puzzle together. When it was done, a simple image of Earth's moon, silver and cratered and beautiful, Maiko looked up at Celine with all three eyes. "Read?" she asked, pointing to a datapad nearby. "You want me to read to you?" A tiny nod. Celine read until her voice grew hoarse. Stories of Earth, tales of humans who'd survived impossible things, who'd been broken and rebuilt themselves, piece by careful piece. When the Empress finally returned, summoned by frantic, joyful attendants, she found her daughter asleep in Celine's lap, one small hand clutching the human's calloused fingers. "How?" the Empress breathed. "The finest minds in the galaxy couldn't. They were trying to fix her brain," Celine said quietly. "I just reminded her that she wasn't broken. Just scared. Just lost for a while." Maiko stirred, opened her eyes. Saw her mother. "Mama," she whispered. The Empress collapsed, her luminous form wrapping around her daughter, both of them crying in languages that needed no translation. Later, when the offers of wealth and moons and fleets came pouring in, Celine waved them away. She asked for only one thing, a small ship, fast and reliable, with a good engine. "That's all?" the Empress asked, incredulous. Celine smiled. "That, and maybe... Could you teach me that lullaby Miko used to sing? The one in your language? Because some broken things, she'd learned, were worth carrying forward. Some songs deserved to echo across the stars, reminding everyone human and alien alike that healing wasn't about erasing damage. It was about learning to sing again, even with a scarred voice. Even in the dark,